this is Michelle from Jasami Publishing, and I'm so excited to welcome you to Jasami Bookworm Podcast today. We have such exciting news, and we've been working really hard for a long time. I'm delighted to say that we have Paul and Megan, who are self-publishing, but we've been working with them on the book Demon's Fair. Welcome, Paul. Welcome, Megan.
Hi, Thank you, Michelle.
So, Paul, make the announcement. We're all excited.
Yes, very exciting news indeed. My debut novel, Demon's Fair, will be out very, very soon.
And what is the release date for that?
It will be June 21st.
So, in order to get everybody excited about this, Megan, you've been doing lots with marketing. Tell us a little bit about what you've been working on.
So I've been getting into Canva and I've been playing about with every single button possible, and I've been creating some marketing. So we've got videos, we've got book cover teasers coming soon, and the biggest one we probably made as well was the logo for Paul Self-Publishing, which it's been great using all the features of Canva and linking up with people on social media as well, and getting the book out there and getting Paul out there. It's going to be fun.
It's an exciting process, and there's a lot of learning in it. And when it's self-publishing, but you're actually working on it yourself. But it's almost like a mini publishing company, which Jasami is delighted about, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help. We're here to help. So, Paul, please forgive me, I forgot to say that Douglas, our executive editor, is here with us today, and so please, hello. Douglas.
Hello. Excited to be here.
So let's chat a little bit about the editing process. So Paul, you came to us and we said, yes, we're going to self-publish, and then it has to go into editing. And Douglas has worked on it. Tell how that's worked for you. What was your most intimidating part about starting editing?
Probably rewriting, I would say, was probably the most intimidating part, but at the same time, it strengthened the manuscript. It made it that much better when I come back and say, this reads so much better now. With these suggestions that Douglas made, I said, working together with Douglas has just been amazing. It's strengthened the book so much. In comparison to the 189 pages that I started with. So absolutely.
And Douglas, as a professional editor, what is it that you look for in a book that you kind of center on?
Well, I think initially as an editor, the first step, the initial step, is to sort of build a foundational working relationship with the author and kind of getting to know them better, and also understanding what their vision is and understanding their voice and seeing that voice sort of enacted throughout the entire process. So really, Paul's been great to work with, and I've been really, really honored to work with this project, and it goes back to our relationship with, keeping communication open, adapting to certain situations, quickly and confidently, and it's building that mutual respect and trust very early within the process. And so usually, what happened with this project was, we looked at Paul's from a developmental standpoint, and we're looking at story structure, we're looking at pacing, and we're looking at scenes and characterization. And after many meetings and collaborating back and forth, we then move into more tighter knit kind of editing and line editing, and we look at sentence structure, we look at syntax and sort of everything to do with that. And overall, it's just been a really, really great process to sort of be able to work on this project and to sort of see it come to fruition by the end.
I know it's very exciting in editing, and I do enjoy it myself. The author's voice, as we've had this conversation multiple times, the author's voice is what's key in any editing process. Yes. That what you've written, your characters are coming through. Now, Paul, you've written nonfiction.
Yes.
What was the difference for you between editing nonfiction and going through the editing process here?
We've gone through the edits for fiction, with the characters, they feel so much more, alive, rather than obviously the research and stuff that goes into the local history projects. It's just such a big kind of transition, so it feels so much different. I do like doing both of them, but I feel that the creative writing shows more of my creativity than what the actual history side of things does. Yeah.
Do you follow a different process in your writing, or do you have a similar process? It's just the outcome is different, whether it's fiction or non-fiction.
Yeah, it's similar to research, a little bit of research for both. Obviously, it's going to be more. Obviously, I need to follow the facts for history, obviously, but but the good thing, the fun part about obviously working with Douglas with the edits and stuff is I can maybe put some of my own stuff, my interpretations and stuff in there as well, and he can come back to me and say, oh, that might work, that's believable or that's not. Whereas with history, you have to stick to facts. You
can't rewrite history. Not a popular thing to do.
Yeah.
No,
it's not a popular thing to do. No, absolutely not.
People try it though; they do try it. I'm glad to hear that you try to stick to it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a certain schedule that you follow for writing a certain amount per day?
Yes, it's mostly my writing is done longhand in my notepad, and then it's usually up about 8:10 in the morning, some cornflakes, and then I start writing to about 10:30. so that's it basically. So I quite nap and then back to it again. So just pretty much when I can,
every opportunity for
every
it.
opportunity I can get, yeah.
Between the work, which has to keep the roof over your head, and family and such.
I think actually reading, if you're ever aspiring to be like a writer in the future, reading helps a lot as well. Just keep reading your favourite authors that really, to spur you on, because that can really help as well.
You couldn't speak truer words. Recently I was in Portugal, which I said in the last podcast. We're excited about our international aspects of that. And I was able to read my favorite books. Sue Grafton, I love her. I actually read 3 books while I was away. It was wonderful. So keep reading. It's very important to do that, and something that brings you pleasure. Absolutely. So Douglas, do you have a certain schedule that you follow for the editing, a certain format day to day, or does it just, how do you make that work for you?
Usually my process, I like to get an early start, so I like to, wake up and kind of just sort of tackle the day. And it really is just a process of, just keeping a very keen eye on the edits and always making sure that you're asking yourself, this is Paul's vision and the author's vision, and just kind of seeing that through. It's a matter of, I usually kind of take my schedule sort of in shifts. So I'll work for 45 minutes, and then I'll take a 15-minute break, kind of let everything kind of soak in, and then I'll keep going like that to just get the most effectiveness out of myself. And that's just something I think, being an editor or an author or anyone really is just kind of finding your own sort of process and making that work for you as best as you can.
Absolutely. The consistency and continuity and following through, but you said something very key, Douglas, is to take that break. Because the mind becomes muddled. As I've said before with editing, once you've done it so many times, your mind places what it thinks should be in there, not what is actually on the page, which is quite scary to think about what the mind does. Hence the reason, obviously, we have our executive editor, but I'm delighted to say that Raquel will be working on the proofing for the finishing. And then Megan gets to do the formatting on the book. This is your introduction into formatting. How do you feel about that?
Nervous but excited to learn now, because it's just something that once you've learned to do it, you can do it, and you just need to kind of keep topping up the skills of it. But I'm just excited to learn how to do it properly.
Well, that's the thing. Once you've started with it, and you can do something and kind of push through. But when you're learning how to do it correctly, it's almost like relearning sometimes. Yeah. But what goes where, the title of the book and the author's name and the page numbers and reveal, there's going to be some fabulous illustrations in this book, I hear.
There is indeed, yes. Yeah.
So we've got a few of those, so we have surprises coming out. Now, what's the other exciting news? What date is the pre-order coming out?
22nd of June.
I think it's 22nd of May, because the book's going to release. Yes. Absolutely. Well, that's okay because I'm going to do it. I thought I had another month there. No. Announcing that 22nd of May, we will be doing pre-orders on the Jasami website in our bookstore. Then afterwards in June, it's going to be available on Amazon. So there'll be lots of opportunities for purchasing it. But the very cool part is with the pre-order on the Jasami website, we are going to have a special discount, and there may be some other goodies of which you will just have to go onto the website to check out for yourself, kind of thing. So this is about this is also about self-publishing. Paul, with self-publishing, what's been the most exciting part for you since you're going into this full force?
Pretty much just seeing, my work pretty much come to life on the page, pretty much, and actually, like put something, market it and put it out there. Pretty much that's been the most exciting parts of it, definitely. And to see my name in it, it's just, there's nothing more, accomplished than that, I would say, especially I've been aspiring to be a writer since, age 16 anyway. So I used to go in the barns at Noble and look at other people's work, and then I get to see mine, which is really good. So. And
that's the exciting part, because it's going to be available, in the libraries and such, because it is a proper publication. What's the biggest difference between when you first sold your historical books and now? What's the biggest difference feeling that you have?
Basically, it's just more creativity, more flexibility for me, because obviously with history, obviously it's you need to stick to facts, and there's only some various kind of like places that will buy like the history books these days, whereas the creative side is actually it's more me, it's more me.
But the fascinating part is that this book also has bits of history in it.
It does, yeah, it does.
And it takes you on that journey. Just no, it's not a spoiler alert, guys. I'm just kind of throwing that teasing out there, because the journey it takes you on is really, it's like a roller coaster. It's really like a roller coaster. So, are there any places that you'd like to mention in Glasgow that people are going to...
I'd just like to say, I might have told a wee bit of a lie the first time. I did kind of try and write a wee bit of history or twist it in this one. Yes, yeah. Let's just say the East End of Glasgow is going to feature us on this, yeah.
Excellent, yeah. And we'll be revealing that on Instagram that's coming out. The Jasami Instagram pages will also have news on it, as well as the Instagram, Megan, that you have set up.
Yep, so on Instagram we'll be revealing the cover to you, but you need to keep your eyes peeled and keep checking it so you can see the cover and other promotional material that we've got going out.
And you have a great cover design on there.
Yes.
And that's kudos to, who's your cover designer?
Olivia Pro Design.
Excellent. And your illustrator, do you have a first name?
Deanne.
Excellent. Wonderful. So there's a lot that goes to, producing a book, which you find out. And then Jasami's been really excited to take you along on this guided journey.
It's been great, yeah.
So, because, that's what we're here to help, not just, produce the things for authors, but also help self-publishers so that they can produce work that is quality, that can go out into the world. Douglas, what have you enjoyed most about this project?
I think the thing I enjoyed the most was really working with Paul and kind of seeing how his passion for history kind of transcends onto the page. Feeding off his passion and feeding off of my own. I think the way he sort of took what he's really interested in and sort of writes a dynamic story was really fun to be a part of. The overall piece, I think we're all really, really proud of, and I think it was just the journey of working with him and sort of building on that relationship and sort of kind of having the pieces sort of kind of be uncovered and put together towards the end. That was just really satisfying. It was just the whole process really to see this from the initial drafts all the way up to the final release, and that's something that is really exciting and something really to look forward to.
Excellent. I always like it. The journey is always, it's not a smooth ride, but it's it's the challenges that we have along the way that make it really interesting, because that's when we actually do learn something. Megan, what have you enjoyed most about this process?
I'd say that I've enjoyed most is kind of learning a lot of skills that I didn't have before. I thought I had them, but it turns out they weren't up to where they should be, and now I feel like I can really learn now and support Paul with any future books that he has.
Oh yes, of course, because it can't just stop at one. Once, it's almost like that little addiction there. That's the. Paul, what have you most enjoyed about this process?
What I've most enjoyed, most of working with obviously under the umbrella of Jasami, is basically just the freedom of creativity, and just how you helped us highlight so many ways that the book can go, and just basically just have the opportunity, which is really good.
Wonderful. Well, to let you know, as we said, the June 21st is the launch date. And does anybody out there know what's special about that date? I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to look it up for yourself. But there is a reason that we're releasing on that date. Yes. So it is on June 21st. We are going to do the pre-orders on our website on the 22nd of May. So that's next Monday. They'll be available for you. I think that's a good conversation about self-publishing. So as I always like to do, put everybody out there as shout out to. So who should I pick first? Paul, who would you like to do your shout out to?
Today my shout out is to my younger brother Joseph, who's just enrolled in college. So he's going to be doing his games development course starting in August. So this is a shout out to you, Joseph.
Excellent. And Megan, who would you like to do a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to my partner Charles, who has been sitting up with me every night when I've been on Canva playing about, and who has a job interview next week for a new job. So
excellent. Oh, well, we wish you the best of luck. And Douglas, who is your shout out to?
Overall, just my family and friends, but most importantly, my partner Angela. She's kind of my rock and always there when I need her, and especially when I'm ready to start banging my head against the wall, she's the one that pulls me away. So she's always there for support, and I appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, my shout out is going to be more general. It's going to be to those writers who want to become self-published authors. And I think it takes a lot of bravery to do it. And just to let you know, it's a shout out and kudos to you. And if you want any help along the way, Jasami is here to do that. It's part of the services that we offer as a traditional publisher, and then helping people self-publish. So once again, I did want to mention one final thing. If you've heard any background noises, it's because we've been at the lovely Mitchell Library, and you hear people in just kind of walking around, and it's just a lovely place to visit. So if you're in Glasgow, don't forget to come to the Mitchell Library. This is Michelle at Jasami Bookworm Podcast. Once again, wishing you all a sunny day.